Hey guys, it's another beautiful day outside because we're getting in the springtime, and that means we're also getting into or ending one part of race season. Welcome back to another episode of the Runpreneur podcast. Thank you so much for joining me again today. I've got a great episode coming up. We're going to be actually reviewing a race that happened back in 2020, which is weird because not many races happened in 2020. But I was able to find the one race out in somewhere a lot of people don't think about going. And I want to talk about it and really motivate you guys to find races yourselves and maybe even get out and travel a little bit more because coronavirus is settling down and it's time to get out and back and run our lives again. So that's what we're going to be talking about and focusing on today. But first, I want to give a big shout out to both our guests last week. They were awesome on the show. We had Kay talking about the Publix half marathon and also Cynthia on talking about when to find time when you don't have time. And I know she's been, even now, since then, even been busier than before, and she's still getting out and running more because they are both signing up for half marathons this upcoming season. Now, of course, in Florida, our season's a little bit shorter in the springtime and it picks up back in the fall. But if you're anywhere else, of course, you can race probably throughout the summer because it's not as smoldering hot as it is here in Florida. But with that being said, I want to talk about the Crazy Horse Half Marathon. And in this first part, I want to talk about all the necessities and everything that you need to know before you sign up, because a lot of these little tiny details are very critical. And there are a lot of details I don't think about looking up until the last minute, and then I'm surprised. So I'm here to help you guys not be so surprised as I am. So in about 5 minutes, I'm going to give you the rundown before we get into the total race. So if you are signing up for the Crazy Half Marathon or Crazy Horse Marathon or Half Marathon or 5-person relay, you should probably know where it is. It's in South Dakota, out near the Crazy Horse Memorial. Now, a fun fact about the Crazy Horse Memorial: when you go to this Crazy Horse Memorial, I went expecting to see a man on a horse like they show in all of the pictures online. That's wrong. There's actually just a face being carved out of the mountain currently, because they're saying the rest of the body of the horse and the person is probably going to take close to maybe another 100 years. So fun fact, it's actually a non-profit. So a lot of people that go out to see Mount Rushmore, which is very famous out there, know that it's a national park. So it's government owned. But Crazy Horse is a non-profit. It's held by his kids, and it's on 1,000-acre property that this guy started long time ago. And his tagline is never give up on his dreams, because his whole dream was to make this crazy horse in the rock. And he started it back in 1960s, 1950s, and his kids have now taken it over. So it is a foundation that you can donate to. There's no fee to go see it. It's just a donation, or whatever you want to call it. And they host this marathon, half marathon, for the last 10 years now. 2020 was the 10th year anniversary, although in 2021, they are also calling it the redo 10th anniversary because 2020 was a little wonky. But they host it every single year to raise money, to buy equipment, to keep their workers working on it and everything. It's volunteer work, it's volunteer equipment. So that's just a fun fact about Crazy Horse that I didn't know when I went over to South Dakota. But anyways, it starts at the Crazy Horse Memorial. So that is your destination that you are trying to get to. Now, coming here from Florida, I flew into Rapid City. You can get direct flights to Rapid City from Denver, Salt Lake, and a lot of the major airports. So I didn't have a direct flight from Orlando to Rapid City, but I had to connected in Denver. I connected in Denver up to Rapid City. It was honestly a quick and easy flight, and I flew United. I don't think, if you're a Southwest flyer like me, Southwest does not fly up there. Now, in Rapid City, Crazy Horse, Mount Rushmore, they're kind of close together. A lot of stuff is out in that area. You have to drive about an hour outside of Rapid City. It's not a bad drive. It's actually gorgeous. I got I got in on one of those days where it was like sunny and half raining, and there was a rainbow in the sky. It was really pretty, kind of cold coming from Florida, but it was well worth it. So I stayed in Rockerville. That doesn't sound that appealing. I get it, because I came from a small town, and you're thinking Rockerville probably doesn't have a lot of people in it. Honestly, it doesn't have a lot of people in it. I think you could drive through it and only see that there's a church, a restaurant, and maybe the Rockerville Inn that I stayed at. That's about the extent of this town that I stayed in. But I would honestly recommend, out of all the little areas that I visited, that was probably the best location I could have stayed at. One, Rockerville Inn Lodge. What was it called? Let's see, what's it called? Rockerville Inn Lodge and Cabins. It's 30 minutes outside of Rapid City, and it's about 30 more minutes outside of, or away from, Crazy Horse and Mount Rushmore. Now, you're not going to get much closer to Mount Rushmore or Crazy Horse than 30, maybe 20, 30 minutes out, because things are so spaced out in the Black Hills. Now, at the Rockerville Lodge and Inn, they're super sweet. I actually got a room that's on top of the mountain. If you stay there, you'll see there's one kind of down off in the canyon or at the bottom of the hill, and then there's one on top of the hill. I stayed at their facilities at the top of the hill. Gorgeous view, really easy access onto the highway, and it took me absolutely no time to get on the highway and out exploring. Now, around that area, you can also stay in Hill City. So Hill City is actually where the marathon ends, the marathon and half marathon end. I'm not familiar, and they don't have many places on here as well. They have Hill City, KOA, where to stay. I'd probably look for Airbnbs. I found Rockerville Inn on an Airbnb, so it's there. They're easy access. They're very, very affordable and easy to find when you're looking on Airbnb. They also have recommendations on their website, the lodge at Palmer Gultch and Mount Rushmore, which they have buses going to and from. So you can get on a bus from those areas and be bused to the start line. So that's always a good thing to know. That's probably something you want to look out for. Of course, Rockerville, I had to drive up to Crazy Horse myself, about 20, 30 minutes. It's really not that big of a deal. It's a nice drive to wake you up. Now, parking at Crazy Horse, really quick, wasn't crazy. I know, kind of a play on words there. It wasn't crazy at all. They have lots and lots and lots and lots of parking. The only thing I was concerned about was I scoped it out the day before. There was one road in the Crazy Horse and one road out of Crazy Horse. So I'm thinking, being my small town self, that's going to cause a lot of traffic if everyone's trying to get there at the same time. I don't think there was a whole lot of traffic that entire time. They were really good with maneuvering everybody in and out. But at the same time, I got there about an hour and a half early, which I never have before to a race. I'm usually running to the start line because they're about to start. But this actually kind of motivated me to try to get to races earlier because it was nice to have all this time on my hands. And I met some really awesome people just hanging around and waiting around that area. Now, fun fact, don't worry about bathrooms. I promise you, because at Crazy Horse itself, they actually let you inside the beautiful building to use their nice restrooms. You don't have to use porta potties. Now, of course, they have porta potties along the race and whatnot, but you didn't have to use them at the start of the race. And that made all the difference for me for this race. Now, dressing for this race about around the time it was in the year. So this race fell in October. It was October 2nd of 2020. It was on a Saturday. Yes, it was on a Saturday, and it was gorgeous in October. So I purposely picked this race, not only because, one, it was one of the only races happening in 2020, but two, I missed fall. I wanted to see a fall with trees changing and the leaves falling, and I was just craving it. So I picked something in an area that would definitely have it. And when we get to the race review part itself, you'll get to see how actually gorgeous this was. But it was also chilly. Coming from Florida, it's not going to be very hot when you go somewhere else, especially when you go as north as you can, close to Canada. I mean, I'm a state away from Canada, but that was still close. So I went there, and it was chilly, and on race morning, it was about 28, 29 degrees. I'll I'll round it up to 30 because once you get under 32, it kind of all feels the same. But 28, 29 degrees. Now, me being the Florida girl that I am, I wore leggings, I wore 2 jackets, I wore gloves, I wore one of those like heat, and they're not like sweatbands, but they're like warm ski like bands that people wear when they're skiing and they want their ponytail out. I was ready for this cold, especially because, of course, Mom's texting me from New Mexico. It's cold down here. It's probably going to be really cold up there. So I overdressed. And I'm going to tell you about mile 20, 22. I was feeling it. I wish I just wore shorts, and I wish I just wore like a tank top and just sucked it up at the beginning, because I warmed up before mile 3. I warmed up way before mile 3, and that was only about 24 minutes into the race. And the rest of the race, I was so hot, it wasn't even funny. And I had to maneuver around, and that kind of ruined things later on. But that's just kind of the first rundown. So I've got, flying in the Rapid City. Parking's not going to be a huge problem. Staying in Rockerville, maybe Hill City, Custer's over there, or the Mount Rushmore Inn. All those places, extremely convenient. I promise, no matter where you stay, you're always going to be pretty localized to everything else that you want to do. And of course, be mindful of how you dress. Just bring a bunch of extra things. Now, after the break, I want to talk about maybe a few things, or I want to give a rundown of the race itself. And I've got videos, I've got pictures, and for those of you that are listening to it on a podcast, I will definitely explain every single video and picture that I am showing. But to get there, first, I want us to hear from our first couple sponsors.
Join us for the fresh, new For Your Best Self podcast with Drs. Anita Saluja and Rebecca Novo of Dermatology plus Plastic Surgery. We will reveal the facts about techniques, trends, products, and procedures to be your best self. The first and only podcast combining the synergy of aesthetic dermatology plus plastic surgery. Search For Your Best Self on Apple Podcasts, YouTube, and Spotify.
All right, guys, welcome back after the break. So it's time to get into the actual race itself. And I'm telling you, this one was an absolutely gorgeous race after getting past that nitty-gritty just details at the very beginning. So I want to start with one, looking at the course map, because this is what I fail to do 90% of the time. I just like to be surprised. So what I loved most about this race is it was not a out and back race, and it was not a loop. It was a point to point. And what a point to point is it starts at Crazy Horse and it ends in a totally different area. And they ended it in Hill City. So if you look at the map, you can see kind of in the middle of the map, there's a little bit of a wing. Now in the wing, that's where we did maybe one or two. I think we got to 1 or 2 laps around Crazy Horse. We actually ran straight by Crazy Horse. It was gorgeous. It's huge. And it's also just, it really puts into perspective how big this project really is. Now, when you look back, if you go back to the map, and you will see 2 different things. So the marathon actually starts at the Crazy Horse, and it goes down south into Custer, around the cute little town that it is, and comes back up. Now, that back up is a killer because it's actually back up a hill. This race starts at about 57,000 feet elevation. 5,700. Oh my gosh, my numbers are so off. 57,000. I'd probably die. 5,700 feet elevation. Maybe around there, maybe a little higher. The highest point is about 6,000 feet. or 6,000 feet elevation, and it ends at 4,000. But Custer is probably in between that. So you run down a hill into Custer. Your time is fantastic. Running back up that hill sucks. And then once you get to the top of that hill, you run all the way down to Hill City, and that's the very end. And that, at the top of the hill, once you get back to Crazy Horse from Custer, is literally all downhill. So if you are running the half marathon, all you have to do is run at Crazy Horse, do a couple laps around where it is, and then get to the top of that hill and run straight down all the way to Hill City. At the beginning of this, I actually wanted to run the half marathon. But because I waited too long to sign up, I watched it too. I waited too long to sign up, and I missed it because it filled up. So I had to run the marathon. Darn, right? I mean, I guess I'm kind of crazy to sign up for a marathon 2 weeks before it, but I was ready for it. So I'd been training for who knows what back in October, September. So I was ready for this marathon, but if I could ever do it again, I would honestly stick with the half, just because the full was great. But when you're coming from Florida to somewhere where there is actually more than 13 feet elevation, it's hard. So when I came back up the hill from Custer, I immediately got lightheaded, and that was about mile 17. So it took about 17 miles down and back, and it was only the rest of the way was 6, 7, 8, 9, about 9 miles left to Hill City. But I was, one, nauseous because I did not dress properly for this race, and two, the elevation hit me really hard. So if you are coming from a lower elevation to a higher elevation, which 50 something, about 5,000 feet elevation is not considered extreme or in medical terms, high elevation, it can still be dangerous. So I just want you guys to keep that in mind. If you are training for something in lower elevation, especially if you're going to high elevation, just take into account that you're probably going to have to slow it down. You're gonna have a little bit harder time breathing, and if you're getting dizzy, you're definitely going to have to slow it down. People in Florida, my biggest recommendation to you is if you're training for something that's in high elevation, train it in Florida in the middle of the day with the heat and the humidity, because you will notice that's almost probably even more, maybe harder than it is to run at elevation. I've done this several times and it worked wonders. I just didn't have enough time to make that choice and train fully for that then. But train in the middle of the day at the highest humidity with the highest point in the day where you're just hot and sweaty. But of course, be smart about it. Don't get too crazy and hurt yourself. Be smart, but know that is a great training technique to use our environment for us when we're training for somewhere else. Now, on this race, what I want to highlight was it not only beautiful weather that we had, but the leaves. They had us running through aspen trees. So we're going to pull up a video here. And if you're listening to it on the podcast setting, you will first seeing the first video is going, yep, right there, is we're running through the leaves. So you're on a gravel road. You're not really ever on the pavement, but you're on a trail here. So it's rocky. It's like a trail running, and you're running through these gorgeous trees. Now the trees weren't changing as much in this video, but along the way you'll see they were just pure golden. And it was gorgeous, and it smelled so fresh, and it was so easy to breathe here. So it was like this probably about 75% of the way. The other part of the race that I thought was cool, like I said at the very beginning, was we actually ran right by Crazy Horse itself. And if you can see, if you're watching this video, the Crazy Horse, the only part of it that is built is actually the face itself up there. Now the rest on that ledge, so on that ledge is where all the workers are working, and you can actually take a helicopter or a elevator, I think, up to it to see the face nearby. Now, fun fact, if you've ever seen Mount Rushmore, you could literally put all three faces of Mount Rushmore on top of that guy's forehead. So that's how big it is in hindsight. Now, on this trail, you are never on the road. So they really didn't have to stop traffic because it's a 2-lane road. So that would have honestly been a bummer for everybody else there that day. But it was a full trail, like one of those biking trails alongside the road. the entire time. It was wide, so people get past you. You didn't have to, get single file line and be stuck behind something that may or not be fast or slow. Maybe you're holding people up. It was perfect in the sense of space for runners, the way we could space out. They had plenty of water stops along the way. Of course, I did bring my own water because it's a little bit of a drier environment. If you're coming from humidity, you just have to keep that in mind. But if you're talking about this race in, levels of hardness, I would probably give it maybe a 6 or a 7. And that's just because, one, it is mostly a downhill race. But if you're coming from lower elevation, the elevation does kind of hurt you. It does put things into perspective. And for about 9 miles, you are running up a hill. That sucks for any race. But, of course, you're rewarded with 9 miles down the hill. Now, out there in Crazy Horse, there's so many things to do. I went out there from a Friday to a Sunday. I was there for 2 days, and my entire 2 days, 2.5 days, was filled. And I loved every single minute of it. So out there around Crazy Horse, of course, is Mount Rushmore. Mount Rushmore is gorgeous. It is so pretty. I love Mount Rushmore. You can see Mount Rushmore, the faces up there. You can walk around the property. It's you have to stop there if you go out there. And if you don't, it's something that's so well known. Why wouldn't you? So there's Crazy Horse. You can, of course, walk around the beautiful visitor center. They have rocks that you could take home with you that are part of Crazy Horse. They're, just everything is donation-based here. And then there's the wind tunnels. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get to go see the wind tunnels. I went to see the wind tunnels, but they were closed because it's a tour that you had to get close to each other, and due to COVID, they wouldn't allow that. But while I was going out to see the wind tunnels, I definitely saw the they don't call it the Badlands. This wasn't the Badlands part. The Badlands were maybe another hour out from the wind tunnels, but it was incredible how much space and how just how much room is out there in South Dakota. If you come from a city and you go out to South Dakota, it's breathtaking. I almost got hit by a buffalo, but that is a whole different story. These people, they were looking at a buffalo in their car, and I was like, ooh, that buffalo is getting really close to that car. And in hindsight, right next to me, there's another buffalo just charging straight at my car. So that's just something you kind of watch and make sure you don't get hit by buffalo because they're not nice animals. Now, this picture that you see up on the screen is actually me at the start line. And this is what I'm talking about when I said I did not dress for this correctly. I wore 2 jackets. I wore leggings. I don't have my gloves on in that photo, but I do have Crazy Horse behind me and my ski wrap. I don't know what to call that thing, like ski muffle hat thing for my ponytail to show. And I had to take my both jackets off during the race. I had to maneuver around that bib, and I had to take that ski thing off my head. It was just way too hot. I had to carry all of it. I just do not recommend doing that. Now, also out there in the area is Devil's Tower. Now, Devil's Tower, I didn't know if it was going to be... Oh, that's one of the hiking trails. Hold on, we're not there yet. So Devil's Tower was one of those things where I second guessed if I should go to this, should I go to this, should I not go to this. I actually did it right after the race, and it had to be one of my favorite. That was one of my favorite experiences there, which was weird. That you had to drive buffalo 2 hours, almost hit me. Actually, in Wyoming, so it's not in South Dakota. You're actually crossing over the state line into Wyoming, and is this huge tower of rock, and people were rock climbing it. But it was gorgeous. I got there about sunset, and I'm not really sure the history behind it. I really should have looked that up, but I was just kind of in awe there because I had this amazing experience just driving out in the countryside, listening to music with my windows rolled down. I got there, and it was ginormous. And again, there's not a lot to do there but walk around the cute little path that they have around the monument. But at the same time, it's just one of those breathtaking things that you can say, I've been there, I've done this, and you can literally see it from a mile away. It is so distinct, And it's also on a lot of Jeopardy questions about what state that is, because I think that's the oldest monument. So that's just a fun fact in case you're watching Jeopardy. Now, hiking out in South Dakota I didn't know what to expect when I went out to South Dakota, because, I lived out in New Mexico. I go out to Colorado a lot. I've been up to Montana. Hiking is different everywhere. But South Dakota was, the leaves, the changing leaves really, really just made the entire trip for me. So I hiked two different places that I absolutely loved. One of them I tried to find, but I ended up at somebody's house and their property. So I wouldn't recommend that place, and I'll tell you which one that is. But the first place I went was Sunday Gultch Trail. Now, the Sunday Gultch Trail was something that it took me a while to find, because things are not very well marked out there. But if you type in Sunday Gulch Trail, of course, it takes you to it. Make sure you keep it on, because your GPS is not going to stay with it. And there's a bunch of different openings. Now, it's about a 4-mile loop, and it goes through rocky terrain. It has gorgeous views of changing leaves. It has hills. It has a lot to it, and it was gorgeous. I would highly recommend hiking the Sunday Gulch Trail. And I would also highly recommend Horsethief Lake. Horsethief Lake, I had a lot of mosquitoes, just fun fact, but you could walk around the entire outside of it. It's a great place for a picnic. It's about maybe 2 miles round trip around the lake itself. You actually pass it multiple times. Probably if you're coming from Rockerville to Crazy Horse, you will pass it. You just have to pull off onto a dirt road and stop to actually get onto it. And honestly, I don't know if you can fish in it. I think I saw a few people fishing in it. And it's just a nice place for a picnic. Not very so much hiking or a trail. Now, the other place that I tried to find was Flume Trail. I could not find Flume Trail. Everybody raved about Flume Trail. It's not easy to find. If you can find, let me know, because I ended up in a couple people's backyards and on their property, and it was just kind of weird because I didn't want to trespass, because that just sounds dangerous out there in South Dakota. So I definitely didn't want to do that. But those are the two I do recommend, is Horsethief Lake and Sunday Gulch Trail. And of course, I can't really explain the beauty, because that's what you have to see for yourself. Now, overall, I would rate this entire experience, this entire marathon, a 10 out of 10. Because not only was it an easy race to get to, it was easy to find, it was very well organized, and everything about it was great. But it was also one of those very unique experiences to actually be out there with the history of Mount Rushmore, and just being able to talk to everybody out there that lives out there and explore somewhere you've never been before. Because we have a lot of ideas of maybe what we think these different states look like, but until we're there, somewhere like South Dakota, where we hear a lot about, but maybe we've never been, is a perfect experience. And I forgot to mention, I didn't get to it, the Badlands. The Badlands are out there. I hear they're gorgeous as well. And really quick, to end this beautiful race review, we get a medal. And if you could see this medal, it's actually leather here. And I think it's almost made out of like clay or wood. This isn't wood, but this is like a clay of some kind. It just says Crazy Horse Marathon 2020. And of course, I have a beautiful picture of me wearing a mask in it, because to get back from the buses, you had to wear a mask back to Crazy Horse. So they are playing it safe. Definitely a beautiful race to check out. I highly recommend it. It is not a Boston qualifier, but it is a race worth running if you're also doing a race in all 50 states. So choose the Crazy Horse Marathon, and all proceeds will go to the Crazy Horse itself. So maybe we could see it built within the next 100 years. But other than that, that is all I have for you guys today. I hope you had a wonderful time listening to this race review, and I hope it inspired and maybe sparked some energy for yourself to get out there, to travel, and to get back to racing, because it's only going to get better from here. So if you enjoyed today's podcast, please like and subscribe to this podcast. Share it with your friends. Maybe you'll sign up for the 5-person relay with them. And also give me a thumbs up, a like and a follow up on Instagram, Facebook, and head over to my TikTok for fun training videos. So Instagram, you've got motivation. Facebook is a great community that we are building to go run races together. And TikTok is where you're going to find my cats and fun race tips, race workouts, and anything else you can find fitness and health tips. So you guys, I hope you have a beautiful and wonderful rest of your day and go out there and run your lives. Bye guys.